And so you want me to give you the advice um for your heartbreak, your very first heartbreak, your second, your third, I don't know, anyone that you feel like you need support for, right? I'm gonna tell you first, do not take the heartbreak advice that these people give you. The people in the movies, the people that I like, the don't take the dramatic approach to a heartbreak unless you feel like you need it. Okay, babes? Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm gonna lay it down for you. I remember my very first relationship, my very first heartbreak. My response to that was it all disappeared and I don't understand what happened. I had a great relationship, very healthy. It just we were young and things were changing, so life gotta work accordingly to that. And so it was a very long, healthy relationship, but it did come to an end, and I was the person getting broken up with. So I did feel heartbreak. That does not mean that the person breaking up with you will not feel pain. Some people do, some people don't. Some people express it and show it in different ways. Everyone feels heartbreak in different, like, it's a very nuanced experience. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you there's one way to fix your heartbreak, there's one way to treat it. I'm gonna sit here and tell you at least something that I did that I regret that I did. Okay. um Honestly, it was a very, i I don't know what type of breakup you had, obviously, but for me, I had a very healthy, easy breakup. It wasn't easy, obviously. I just mean it wasn't a bad one. I didn't have a bad ending to that relationship. And the way I reacted to it was not accordingly to that. I reacted to the thing that I did the thing that I thought I was supposed to do when people break up with you. And that was block them on literally everything and get rid of my social media accounts completely. I mean, I took a full wipe. I dipped out of school. I did everything that just went with the way I felt. I felt broken. I felt gone. And so I disappeared from everything and I started working on my mental health, but that took so long for me to get to. Like, the first thing I did after I got broken up with, like, the thing that got me back into school, which it took so long, um just like in my first partner, they'd always, like, they were into tarot readings. And I know one time they gave me a tarot reading and it's like I messed it up and I felt really shitty about it. And so there was this thing. There was a couple things that happened right before, just so you know, but it's like those were like, it felt like it dropped out of nowhere. So if I can get on with the story. When I got broken up with, I was obviously super sad. I sobbed. I cried like almost every day, pretty much. And then there was these days where I felt numb and and I just couldn't be in a space where they were. It felt like too much to handle to be in the same space as them. To Yeah, it's just like we had school together and that means I had to see them every time in my class, and it was too much for me. So I just stopped going because seeing them hurt, knowing that that them and I, we weren't in that cycle anymore. So if that's how you're feeling, yeah, just take a deep breath with me. Hold for 3 seconds, then exhale for 3 seconds. Everything's gonna be perfectly fine. It happens to everyone. And I know it felt like forever. And who knows? I used to have this thing before again and again, right before, like, you really get over that whole heartbreak thing. I had this thing where I think, like, if someone was good, they'd come back to for you. Like, if they really loved you, they'd come back for you, right? And the funny thing is they did come back to me. But like I said, I blocked them on literally every platform and I deleted my accounts. And I remember I I don't know how I did this, but it's like I unblocked them for a while and I found their account and I had to ask them because I was like, I can't move on if I don't know this. And so I asked, why did you end the relationship? And I'm gonna give you guys the vulnerable truth of what my first partner said to me of the reason why our relationship didn't work, my first relationship. I mean, no, why our relationship ended. So they said to me, they said it felt like a lot of things in my life was going wrong, and you were the one good thing, and so I thought that subtracting you would make it better. That's what they told me, and then I just replied, okay, and I disappeared after that. And as crazy as that sounds, you're like, why would you do that? I didn't know what that meant, what that would mean. I didn't know it's my first relationship. We're all stupid. Like we're all ourselves, but do I regret it? I don't know. I am who I am, and that's partially a result of that, but also other life factors. So, yeah, I guess my thing is if you end on good terms, then maybe don't do what I did. You don't have to block them unless you feel like every time you see them it hurts. You could you could probably express that to them and just tell them you need space, or rather you could, I don't know. I don't know, but you don't have to block them on everything. I did that, and I regret doing that. I regret deleting my old account. I lost contact with some friends I had at that time as well. But yeah, pretty much. They were artists. I tell some people about them, but not really everyone. Um, yeah, we live and we grow, things like that. Things like that. Um, some other things. If you're breaking up with someone, you don't have to say, um, we can we can still be friends if that's not how you're feeling. If you feel like you need to take some space, god dang say it. A lot of relationships require communication, and for your first, you can take that sameness. I mean, you don't really know much when you get into your very first relationship, and I'll be honest, I feel like I didn't really know what to do after my first one ended. I know a lot of people feel that way, but the thing about your first relationship is you learn, I want to say you learn the most from it, but I think you know what you want a little bit more. So maybe you know what you want a little bit more. You know some things you want to see. And that even if that person held some qualities of people you'd like in future partners that you want to have, you know what you want a little bit more. So take that with a grain of salt. A goddamn grain of salt. It's this probably not helping nobody. I'll be honest. But yeah, something else before, right, I didn't even tell you before I really got past it. Something that I used to do was watching tarot videos, and I would just like think, oh, who's the next one, who's the next one. That didn't happen for years. I took i took a good amount of time out and just dipped out and just worked on my mental health, and I'm so much better. I tell you in an instant that that time of my life was probably not the best, but where I am now is so much more elevated. Like I always tell you, like compared to where I was in the past, this badness ain't nowhere close. It ain't nowhere close to where I used to be. And I'll say that again and again and again, dang it. So I don't know. You could you could do that method that a lot of people say the best way to move on is to get up under someone new. That wasn't the case for me. I just wanted I just wanted maybe I wanted them back. Yeah, definitely. But also, it's like after you go through something like that, why do you think the best way to move on is to get under someone else and bring what you had, like, and bring that newfound pain onto someone else? And bring that on to someone else? No. I think every relationship should be clean slate. So you're not gonna have like a perfect clean slate, obviously, but at least make sure you're like proper moved on. I don't think you're I don't think you or your next partner deserves to feel the weight of that emotion that's like still very strong and passionate there. So yeah, I it's just like you'll always feel a little bit lonely when you're, you know, maybe you won't. Some people don't feel even the taddest bit of lonely. It just depends on who you are. But I think a breakup is hard for everyone. So take your time. Take it as you will. Life will be life. Breakups will be breakups. It will be painful. Um, I don't want to say just focus on yourself because that's like insanely difficult, you know. But hang out with people, hang out with strangers, hang out with your friends, do things you used to enjoy. Take time. Just take time. And if you need someone to be there for you, find someone who will be. I don't know who that is for you, but I try to be that for someone. So, yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Hey, bro, just take it easy. Deep breaths. Listen to as much music as you need to. You want some recommendations? I got a couple of playlists in my Spotify. I'm not sure you can find my Spotify account, but if you want to, it's called Kiana Bops right now. Bops all caps, Kiana only K capital. You could listen to my Spotify playlist I got available. I don't know. It's not really promo because I don't think you get a crap for promoting playlists, but like if you want to know what I'm listening to, you can listen to any of those. You can listen to anything really. Change the way you listen to music. Maybe listen to some new music. Maybe explore some old bands. You got all this time, all this space. Fill it with something you want to have in your future. That's all I gotta say, really. I mean, I started streaming on Twitch. Shoot, I met y'all, gang. Chat, I met y'all. I met y'all after like I started doing all types of crap. All types of crap. I started working out. I had a workout. I started doing anything and everything. My art improved. I started I started skating more. I started picking up all these new hobbies. But it took me like realistically, it took me like 3 months of like it took me 3 months of hardship to get like it felt like there was a shadow veil over my life for a solid 3 months. But uh sitting here now I'm in a different position. It just depends. Everything depends. It depends on you. You know what you need and that'll come to you slowly. But don't try to rush it. I guess that's really all I really wanted to say. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Don't rush it. Don't do all these big leaps that a lot of people tell you to do, like go into your gym arc as soon as your girlfriend breaks up with you. Don't do that unless you feel like that's you. You know? Exercising does have benefits like dopamine stuff, but do what you feel is right. I didn't really necessarily go through a gym arc after my ex. I think I just found myself a little bit more. And yeah, I just found myself a little bit more. Doesn't matter how old you are, there's always something new to find out about yourself. So, yeah, take your time. Don't feel the need to block someone. You don't have to delete the pictures if you don't want to delete them. Take your time with everything and everything will come slowly as the more time that passes. It's a lengthy process. Just you don't have like rushing yourself is not gonna help. I guarantee you, trying to rush getting over someone is never gonna help you. Um, yeah, you can't rush the breakup process. Just take your time, girl. Take your time, girl. Okay, babes. That's it. That's all I gotta say. It's not even late. It feels like it's effing 1 a.m., but it's 9:30 p.m. That's it, bro.
Can you call me when you wake up? Please do not tell me you already gave up.
Nah, chat, that's insane. Anyways, deuces. Peace out, chat. I'm gonna see y'all in another one.